think we've all been eager to talk to you since the trade. Just what was your reaction when all of that went down, and just kind of your eagerness to be here in this organization now?
Yeah, so it was my first time ever being traded, so I wasn't sure what to expect, but I thought it went smooth. I knew when I got the call from Jerry, I was like, okay, this is a real thing. And immediately after talking to my family, we're just excited. Obviously you see the history of this organization and kind of what the team did last year, and then immediately after, just the welcoming fact of just guys were just so welcoming to my family and I, and to me that's very important. So, like I said, very excited. The excitement in the building, just seems like an overall just great group of people.
You're obviously down here early. Why was that important to you as well?
Yeah, so we're actually in Florida. We believe in getting to spring training early, getting settled in. It was important for me to meet a lot of people. I'm good with names. I'm not good with faces, so kind of putting those both together. So we flew in Monday, got in Monday night, and then I was here Tuesday morning, so I'll be here. I think it's important to just kind of get settled in, and then if I feel like I'll try to lead by example, just kind of be here and just try to, earn some respect from the guys, just kind of how I work.
It's only been about a week, but just what have you learned about the organization and the people here?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing that stands out is just how good the people are here. I mean, I talked to a couple people. Obviously, being in the National League, I know we do tend to play the American League a little bit more now, but didn't know a whole lot about it. So I pinged some people, and they're like, great people. You're going to love the people in this organization. So that, to me, that's obviously the character of the organization. That's extremely important.
Brendan, the whole offseason, your name was mentioned, and the Mariners talked about you from the very beginning of the offseason. What was that like, kind of not knowing what was going to happen to you? I mean, you've never been traded before. To sit there and wonder if you're going to go back to Florida or you're going to be in Arizona. I mean, was that tough?
The cool thing about rumors is they're just rumors. So we do a pretty good job of trying to stay out of the rumors and the limelight of the off season. Off season for me is kind of just like hanging out with my family, training. So I knew it was a possibility, but I wasn't really sure. I was having some communication from the Cardinals, but there wasn't a whole lot there. It was kind of like around the GM meetings, and then the winter meetings was like when we kind of got flooded by a bunch of stuff and we weren't sure what to expect. But I also know that I had been linked to Seattle for a few years now, so I was kind of thinking in my head if something were to go through, I feel like it would be the team that's kind of been linked for a few years. So obviously very excited that it went through.
What does that say? I mean, like they liked you last year. They made it a priority this offseason. I mean, going to a place where somebody definitely wants you, that's got to be kind of nice, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good to be wanted. And being on the other side of this, it was always tough, especially facing the staff and just the way that they play the game. I mean, I feel like, you just look at the pitching staff, and then if you put the ball in play, you're pretty much out. So that was frustrating from the opposing side. So I'm excited to be playing behind them, not against them.
How comfortable? I mean, like they love your versatility. They talk about you can play second, you can play third. You haven't played third a ton lately. I mean, they're going to ask you to do that. How do you go about that in your preparation? I'm sure you still work at it, but if the focus is maybe playing more third this year, how do you go about that?
Yeah, so go find Bone and let him tell me what to do.
How has that been? I mean, he introduces himself pretty quickly, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's cool. We talked that night. My phone went nuts, but we made sure that was one of the phone calls that happened. So we talked the night I got traded, and then yesterday we got some work in. So, it's kind of funny. You hear about reputations and things throughout the game of baseball, and everyone talks about, like, if you get a chance to work with Bone, like, he's going to make you a better defender. So that was another thing I was excited for. And yesterday we got some good work in over at third base.
Was it enlightening at all? I mean, he tries to simplify it, to keep it simple.
It's funny. It's just like simple brilliance. Like when he's talking, I'm like, that makes complete sense. But it's also not something that's crazy. It's just like yesterday it was just like, field it, funnel it, place your feet. And I was like, okay, I can do that. Can you do that?
How much do you know about his reputation, Brendan? I mean, you obviously just touched on the fact that it does speak for itself, but just, dating back to when you got into pro ball, how much did you know about him and, being able to finally connect with him?
Yeah, I actually first heard about him in college. We had an infield coach in college who he was big on the 6 Fs. So it's like that was like kind of like my first introduction to that. And then as you start like meeting infield coaches, a lot of the things that they have come from him. So it's pretty cool, just kind of the lineage of what's been passed down from his knowledge. And like I touched on it before, but like it's so simple that it just makes so much sense. It's repeatable, simple, which I like.
A lot of fans don't know a lot about you. Like, how would you describe yourself as a player? What do you want people to think about you when you show up to play or show up to work every day?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think the thing about me is like I believe in preparation. Like I try to be the most prepared player on the field. I think that may come with just kind of being able to play kind of all over the field, kind of be the most prepared. And I play really hard. I think that's something that, your effort, your mentality, all that, those are things that you can control in this crazy game. So that's something that I just try to play like my hair is on fire. And that's something that I think makes the game more fun, too.
How many of the guys in the clubhouse did you already have a relationship with? And you touched on connecting with a few of them since. How many have you gotten to connect with as well?
Since I've been here, I've pretty much talked to all of them. I didn't have a relationship with a lot of them, just mutual respect just from playing against each other. But now more starting to build that on a personal side.
I know you've only been here a few days, but this organization prides themselves on preparation. It's been established throughout the culture from different players. I mean, Cal is a big proponent of it. Have you noticed that right away, like the intensity, the preparation? I mean, you probably see even more as the workouts go.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you come into an organization, you kind of ask like, hey, what are some things I should be aware of, like rules or things, just so you kind of don't get caught off guard. And it was just like, we're going to prepare. We're going to be great people. And I was like, I like it. I mean, I think that when you have a group of guys that hold themselves to a higher standard, and there's that aspect of accountability and preparation and guys that genuinely care, and there is a talk of winning a World Series in the building, you don't really need that, right? I mean, you look at Cal's the first one in the door, and I think he's the last one here. And I saw that yesterday. I was like, wow, he's here early. And then I think I left, and I'm like, wow, he's still here. So, I mean, it's just a testament to him and why he's able to set the foundation for this culture.
Dan mentioned you. We're a long ways away from the games already, but Dan mentioned you as an obvious candidate to maybe bat leadoff too. What do you like about hitting up there? I don't think you've necessarily done it a ton in your career, but is that something you feel like in this lineup you could really add something?
Yeah, I'm cool with it. I mean, I just want to be in the lineup and I want to help the team win. I don't mind being the first in the fire. My career I've hit all over the lineup. It doesn't really matter to me. I mean, positionally, spot in the lineup, it doesn't really matter. I mean, you look at all kind of the protection all around you, like, wow, this is a good lineup.
Your approach is, like, you look at now current baseball, there's a lot of elevate and celebrate. You're kind of old school. You put the ball in play, you take your walks, you don't strike out a ton. Do you feel like that's coming back more and more as we see kind of changes, like the value in being a tough out and getting on base?
Yeah, I think it's all cyclical. I think that there needs to be like a good balance of all that throughout a lineup, right? I mean, I think you need some thump. I think you need some contact. I think you need some toughness. I think you kind of need all of that to have a good, complete lineup. When you talk about like a lineup that doesn't have any breaks, I think that's kind of aspect of that. But that's something that I pride myself on. I understand that I am starting to hit the ball a little bit harder each year, but I don't want to like forget who I was as a player, right? Some people call it like doing damage like in the air. I want to do damage on a line. If I can do damage on a line and keep my angles manageable, I think that gives me a better chance to have success, and then I can help the team more. I also hate striking out. It's just something that like I feel like I gave him almost feel like I gave it away. Now there's times where you tip your cap, but it's just like if I put the ball in play, like meaning I'm going on the right pitch and I'm hitting it hard and I'm having good direction, all that stuff that we talk about. But I feel like if I'm doing that, it gives us a chance. So that's kind of how I see it. Approach-wise, I think when I'm asked, like, what's my approach, and I usually ask, like, what's the situation? Like, I practice a lot of them. I think I probably have, like, 20 to 40 different approaches. I think it kind of comes down to situation, who's on the mound, what's the score, how am I feeling, how are they feeling, like, all of that kind of factors into it. That's just a little bit kind of about my philosophy.
Did you always have a pretty discerning eye in the strike zone, or has that gotten better as you've gotten older
Something that I train. Obviously, I think genetically, my dad was a pilot, so they had good eyesight. So that was kind of passed down. But it's something that I train. I think you're only as good as the pitches that you swing at, and you see the stuff is only getting better in this league, and how hard it is and how it moves is only getting better. Also, their ability to manipulate, different zones. You're starting to see the addition. It used to kind of be like this guy's a four-seamer and this guy's a sinker baller. Now they have the ability to cover different patterns and different quadrants of the zone. So it's like, how can I train my ability to kind of stay between like whatever zone I'm hunting at that time? So that's definitely something we train in. And obviously we have here, the spring training complex is amazing. There's so many different tools and technology that you can use to train that also.
Is that something your dad helped with, or just more so genetically?
Yeah, I think genetically, I think that's something, I mean, we would always hit, like my brother and I would like find like the smallest thing, like little beans or whatever. We'd hit that in the backyard, or my dad made me read the Science of Hitting by Ted Williams. I probably read that book a couple times as a kid. So obviously he grew up a Red Sox fan, so you talk about that philosophy. He was like, you need to hit like Ted Williams. I was like, all right, Pops, let's take it easy there.
Yeah. Who did he fly
I can read the book.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Who did he fly for?
So he was Army Aviation.
Okay.
So he retired as a colonel a couple years ago. So I think he still misses putting his boots on every morning.
Is that, I mean, you have military family, is that why you do a lot of stuff with veterans and those things off the field? Is that important to you? Like people talked about that.
Yeah, that's extremely important. I think when you have men and women that sacrifice so much for this country, I think it's our duty and our right to just, if they need a hand, just extend a helping hand, or just shake their hand and say thank you. That's, in the military, which is why I think I was attracted to baseball so much. There's like a sense of community and culture and teamwork and all those things that the military, I feel like, did a pretty good job of instilling in me as a kid. So kind of seeing my dad put his boots on in the morning and come home in his uniform, and like we'd go to the field and he would always come off work and I'd be at a game and I could always tell which one was him because he was obviously in his uniform. So that's an area that I'd really try to lean into. I think as your platform gets bigger, I think it gives you more of an opportunity to do more, and that's kind of how I see it.
Pretty big. There's some pretty big military presence in Seattle, south of Seattle. I don't know if your dad's probably been to Joint Base Lewis McCoy, but you plan on doing stuff when you get to Seattle too out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Gonna kind of get a feel for kind of organizations and things like that, and when we have boots on the ground, we'll just kind of go all in.
How long was he stationed in Germany?
Yeah, so I think it was 3 years. My brother and I are both born there.
Both born there.
Yeah, I don't speak any German.
Okay.
I know.
Awesome. Thanks for doing this.
Yeah, no, appreciate you guys.